Hi, my name is John Johnson. This is another quick little video in my little series about spirituality for everybody, including atheists, and I want to talk about anger. So I feel this is something I should very confidently be able to speak about. I grew up in a household where it was very tumultuous, lots of anger, lots of explosive arguments, and I was very lucky in college to meet a group of friends who loved me despite the challenging parts of my personality, and with patience, and over a decade of just working on it, I learned how to manage, and so I'll share some of that with you. So the first thing that really helped me on the path was realizing I don't like being angry. It sucks. It's exhausting. It's miserable. You obsess about it, and you just get it drains you. It's very exhausting. So that was very powerful, and I realized I don't like being angry. It is powerful because the truth is the part of us that is, I think, probably primarily responsible for getting angry and holding on to anger is our ego. And so, without saying too much, I'm going to quote a friend. Somebody recently told me, "Your ego is not your amigo," and I do like that. But in my personal journey, I'm kind of finding that your ego is a very powerful thing, and you need to learn to restrain it to protect the world around you. And once you control your emotions, you control your ego, and you have it on a leash, you can also learn to unlock it when you need to take you places, because it is the part of you that it believes that you can do it, but it's also the part of you that's going to hurt other people if you don't have it under control. Okay, so this will start here. You don't like being angry. It sucks. Acknowledge that. So once you start doing that, you will. For me, I found myself in spots where, like, maybe somebody would say something, and on the surface, it wasn't super obvious that it was a jab, but maybe it implied something, and I would find myself racing towards why I should be upset about that. And maybe there's that's valid. You know, there are people out there that do intend this harm, and they may be even sneaky about it, right? But come to the bigger understanding of if the harm they're doing amounts to just like an intangible disrespect in the moment, which sucks and it is going to get your ego. Think about the cost. Like, is this like just invisible momentary disrespect worth the misery that I'm going to put myself through for giving a shit about this thing? So start there, that in itself is its own complex thing. Whether or not you decide somebody needs to be confronted, that's it. Confrontations need to happen sometimes in life, but not always. You got to figure out the cost of that. But we're not talking about that for now. We're just talking about dealing with anger. So first, you don't like it. Be able to catch yourself in the moment when you see yourself working up to get angry about something. Okay, so for me, it took years to get good at it, and I still think I've got some ways to go. But I do know the milestones you hit. So the first part in dealing with your anger is being able to catch yourself in the moment as it's happening and walk away. Right? If you're somebody who can really blow up, or even like be upset about something for days or weeks, walk away. Right? Because it's gonna take you a long time to conquer that, right? So essentially, if your anger is able to get the best of you, that's just a general indicator you don't have your emotions under control, which is okay. We need to learn to do it. If no one taught you, you don't know. Don't feel too bad. We acknowledge it. We know need to get to a spot where we can control it. So when you catch yourself blowing up in a moment, walk away, and then honestly, you may not be able to resolve the situations within a quick amount of time. It may be weeks or months before if you're wrong, it can take you a long time to realize you're wrong, including years. There have been things that have taken me years to realize I was wrong. Okay, it'd be a combination of your ego holding on to something and maybe a level of ignorance preventing you from realizing that you're wrong. Okay, that's fine as long as we can eventually get there. In things to do. So getting from a point to where you can to walk away in an argument to eventually to a point to where you can actually subdue the feeling that's rising up in a conversation where you feel like you're about to get angry, and you can subdue it. Oh, and even like navigate the conversation in a successful way. It took me years to get to that point, right? And there are milestones within. But first, you don't like being angry. Walk away as soon as you find out that you're about to lose it, right? And then the next milestones are actually associated with your journey of learning how to deal with that moment. So you could be wrong or you could be right. So yeah, you don't know. So there are a couple things I've done that have helped me figure out. Sometimes I'll write down the situation and why I think I'm angry, and that's been very helpful. Sometimes this is one I like a lot. I will record myself talking about the situation, and I'll watch it back. And sometimes you'll see yourself back, and you'll realize, oh, I'm such kind of a kid. I'm immature. Why do I care about that? Why look at my look how much that affected me. Look how I'm saying that. So that can be very effective because we can't. Sometimes we are jerks and we can't see it. And then sometimes the truth is, somebody around us was stunted, and they did something mean to us, and then I got a reaction out of us. So if you're at this spot, like this is tricky for trying to figure out what to do because and this is where ideologies come into play. You're gonna have to decide how you want to handle this yourself. For me, I'm operating from this perspective that I, I want to believe if somebody who's mean to me, it's because they're emotionally stunted on a journey. If I decide I didn't deserve it, if I evaluate the facts and it's like, no, I think it's somebody acting out of something else, right? Well, then I'm thinking that they're kind of acting out of a place of hurt. The same way like a scared dog can be aggressive. I kind of view people who are acting meanly to me in that way also. And so if you evaluate that and to be the case that the reason someone is mean to you is out of some deficit in themselves where you think you can also see how they're hurting, then maybe you're somebody who can decide that you're not necessarily going to react um, with fire meets fire, but maybe with like almost as a doctor trying to help an injured person. Um, that part's up to you. But I just wanted to share the parts about dealing with anger. So just quick synopsis. If you realize you don't like being angry, if that's true for you, it is for me. It's exhausting for me. And then catch yourself in an argument before it gets too bad. If it's something you're not going to be able to control, and then spend the next couple of years figuring out how to talk yourself down, how to get better about reducing the amount of time it takes you to deal with yourself. To the point to where you can actually do it inside while you're still in the conversation with people. You can eventually get very good. It's going to take years. And on top of that, when you walk away, people aren't going to realize that that's actually progress for you. They might be mad, like, oh, why does this person walk away, right? So just be aware this is what you're going to have to deal with. But you walking away is better than you blowing up in the moment. That's just my 2 cents on that. So that's my little spiel about anger, and I hope that made sense and helped some people. Ooh, one extra thing I just wanted to say. I know, if this is the first video you're seeing of this little playlist, there's a chance you don't know me. I made a little video of who I am and why I'm saying this, and you can decide for yourself whether or not you want to take any of this for value or not. But if you want to check and see if it's worth it, you can watch that little video there. All right, thanks. Bye.